Man, oh man. I just got done trying to record a little video for um, Martin Luther and what he meant by sola scriptura. And man, those things are tough. I would rather just much do these vlogs. But, anyways, what's going on, guys? I'm Seminary Covey, and welcome to the my week six vlog. Man, I'm still a little disheartened from that video. I don't know if I can continue to keep doing that. That took a long time, a lot longer than I wanted to. The reason I like these is because I can just go off the script and just talk about what I'm going through, how the PhD program is going, what's going on at work, what's going on at church. All the information comes across. I don't have to edit anything, not reading anything. I can just talk to you guys, and it feels good. So I guess with that in mind, let me go ahead and just talk about what's going on in school. Man, this week kind of caught me by surprise. It shouldn't, and it makes me feel kind of bad. I was still on top of it, but it was a last minute thing, and I don't want to be that guy. I think God gave me grace this week, but I can't let that fly again. So what's going on is in my Luther seminar, was it last week? Last week, the professor mentioned something along the lines of a lot of things I'm hearing could be good research topics for your paper. I think is how he said it. Could be good research topics for your paper. And I'm like, what did he mean by that? I know we have a paper, but that's like not due till October 30th or something like that. Let me go look at the syllabus and see. And it's a good thing he mentioned that, because Tuesday we had to propose a topic. We had to have an idea. And I didn't know what I was going to do, because I didn't know the assignment was due, at least to propose an idea. So what were we reading that kind of helped me out? I don't even remember exactly what we were reading, but the topic ultimately led me to Martin Luther's use. Oh, that's why I can't remember. We had so many readings last week. I had like 6 or 7 different readings for the Luther course. But in one of those readings, it spoke about, and a few of them actually, it spoke of how Martin Luther drew heavy influence from rabbinic commentaries. He got from Rashi, he got from this guy Nicholas of Lyons. There may be even some evidence that he got some inspiration from Paul of Burgos. A few different things. So being that I'm trying to cater all of my work to something relating to Jewish-Christian relations, I figured it would be a good idea to incorporate that somehow. So I took my interests, which, I don't have a whole lot of interest, but the ones I do have, I really like to look into. One of which is Martin Luther's opinion of the supernatural realm of the Bible. Was that book by Oberman or Heichel? I think it was Oberman. But Martin Luther, Between God and the Devil, where the whole book is about Martin Luther and how he believes that the world is more than just flesh and blood. Like, I know the Bible says that, but how many of us really believe that? Martin Luther did. He really believed everything bad that happened was a demonic force. He thought his mom was a witch, all kinds of thought. Well, he didn't think, regardless, I'm not getting into it. But he had a real supernatural worldview. So I wanted to see how rabbinic commentaries may have influenced his interpretation of Genesis, because he has a whole commentary on Genesis in which he relies heavily on Nicholas of Lyons. And I'm very curious as to see what he says in regards to Genesis 6. I don't know if y'all know, but I'm a major Heiserite. We'll get to that in a little bit too, because it comes up for the next class. Major Heiserite. I love everything Dr. Michael Heiser. I even have a little picture of him on my desk at work. So I thought it would be good, a cool little study to see how, if at all, they influenced his supernatural worldview. So that's what my topic is going to be on. Next week we have spring break, so I guess I'll still do a vlog, but it won't be class oriented. It'll be more study oriented, because that's what I'm going to be doing next week, and it'll be concerning that. I'm going to start writing my paper on the rabbinic influence on Martin Luther and his interpretation of Genesis, particularly with a supernatural worldview in mind. So we had that class, went through a lot of reading materials. Like I said, there was like 6 or 7 different things to read. And then we had my Trinity seminar on Thursday. And same thing. We were actually, I didn't know we were supposed to already have a topic. When I found out the one about my Luther seminar, I looked real quick to see about my Trinity seminar, and that one we're supposed to have something, a 2-page prospectus, I guess you can call it, but mainly just a thesis on something we want to write about regarding the Trinity. Now, the book we had just read was a pretty dope book. It was called The Same God Who Shapes Everything, I believe, by Dr. Adonis Vidu, Dr. Adonis Vidu. And he was actually in class as a guest lecturer. So we got to talk about some things, which is good because I wanted to ask him for insight. Because when I read his book, there was a section on there that led me to consider a topic in which I could write regarding the Trinity. In there, he starts talking about Jewish monotheism, what Jews thought of their one God, and how they doubled down on it after this two powers heresy. If you know anything about Alan Siegel, you know that he wrote a dissertation called Two Powers in Heaven, turned it into a book, and it talks about how things like the angel of the Lord could also be a theophany, and there's at least two powers in heaven, which sets up Trinity. If you haven't looked into it, go look into it. It's pretty cool. Anyways, the rabbinic thought of the time was to go against that two power, which they called heresy, and they doubled down on how their God is one God. And the polemics against the church fathers led them to do that. So I had a question for Dr. Vidu. I was like, I know you wrote this in your book, how rabbis were using polemics to go against the church fathers and state that the God is one true God. But what about the other way? Do you have any evidence of the church fathers knowing about how they felt about the two powers and how they used it to sort of shape further their doctrine of the Trinity? I wrote my paper, my entrance exam, or my entrance paper writing sample on the what was it? Rabbi Akiva as the rabbinic response to the Christian's Apostle Paul. I believe that rabbinic Judaism and Christianity grew in tandem, often in spite of each other, often because of each other. They interacted greatly, and many of their doctrines were shaped by polemics and answering questions and arguments of the other. I wrote about a lot of that in my paper. So anyways, I wanted to continue on that conversation, but with Rabbi Akiva and his specific interpretation of the Son of Man in Daniel 7, how that influenced the two powers in heaven, what the church fathers thought about that, and if at all, did it shape our understanding of the Trinity? Did it help mold? Specifically, what we are talking about in class is the inseparable operations of the Trinity. So I'm just kind of looking at all that, and I got to get a bunch of sources together and come up with a bibliography and start hammering this out, which will take place over spring break. But that's really it in regards to class. Like I said, hopefully I'll have more to share whenever I finish these papers. I'm obviously going to share them with you guys, what I found, what the class thought. Hopefully they receive it well. Hopefully even more the professors receive it well. I am 4 out of 6 of my critical reviews done. I need 2 more. I got the books. Luckily, I only have about 500. Do I have it? I don't have it on here. But I have about 500 pages I got to read this week for class, which is nothing. I can probably finish that today and tomorrow. It's no big deal. So I'll knock out that one critical review, and I'll just have one more to go before the seminar ends. And yeah, we'll go from there. What's another thing? This was gonna be super quick. Like I said, I've been recording for that video. Oh my gosh, it's probably not even gonna turn out good. I really don't want to edit it. It's just gonna be how I do here. A quick Google Meet recording. I had to run it through like a million times before I got it right, and I still messed up a lot of the ending. I added a lot more stuff that wasn't on script. So hopefully I can just delete that and keep the meat and potatoes of it. But yeah, I'm tired of recording already today, but I wanted to get it out there. I got to be disciplined enough to continue to do at least these every week. But what's going on in church? I actually had a meeting with my pastor this morning, and I let him know how things were going in class. I should just tell him about the vlog, right? But I told him a lot. Basically, what I tell you guys on the vlog, I kind of told him some about it. What's going on at church? I told him how much I'm enjoying youth. And I asked him about, something official at the church. I'm kind of, they say I'm like a minister of education. Someone said that they were going to like make that announcement. I didn't know about it. Someone also said that they're training me to be the next pastor of the church. I didn't know about it. Lots of things that I'm hearing. Our minister of music, he told me that, oh, I hear you're doing the message next week. I'm bringing the message next Sunday. Not this Sunday in a few days, but the following Sunday. He was like, do you want any music to go along with that? I don't know how he found out about that. So I asked Pastor, are there like some kind of meetings going on where y'all discuss all this? Because I'm finding stuff out even about me that I didn't know until people told me. So I would just like to be in the mix of things, which led me to ask about some kind of official role. There's some back and forth. With one time he did say he wanted to get an assistant pastor, and I know he does, but the budget doesn't allow for it at this time. And I'm not looking for a paid position, I just want the experience. So even if the church doesn't call me after like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years, I'll still have that official experience to take with me elsewhere. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm just some volunteer in the church, just like everybody else. And while I think everybody should volunteer, I at least want to be able to show something at the end of my time there, because I do want to maintain ministry, educational ministry within a church. And oftentimes your being hired at a church really depends on your on your experience. You can have all the education in the world, but they want to know that you've been doing this. So yeah, I asked him, I was like, can we do something official? Let's make it official. Let's put a status on Facebook. You know what I mean? And we'll see. He said, just keep doing what you're doing with the youth, and we'll see from there. So I was like, okay, we're gonna continue to meet on Friday mornings. So not this next Friday because he has something to do, but the following Friday and thereafter, we'll be meeting for like an hour on Friday morning. So hopefully it'll give me the opportunity to still learn from him and show him how much I'm doing, and maybe eventually get me a more official type of position in the church. Like I said, paid, not really my concern. I already have a job. The payment comes from experience and my willingness to do this for God. That's my payment. Sounds kind of cliche, but whatever. Also at work, we had an academics meeting discussing the new schedule. And there was this one class, Introduction to Church History. And I asked about teaching that class, or at least TAing that, being a TA, helping the professor do that. And if I'm being honest, if I had my choice of the two, which I kind of think I do, but if I had my choice of the two, I kind of want to take a step back and TA as opposed to teach. I want to do it the right way. I feel like if I keep teaching, I'm rushing. I know the opportunity that I'm being given to even be able to TA, to much less teach a class solo. Not everybody gets that opportunity, and I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm spoiled a little bit by getting the opportunity. So I want to do it the right way. And if I get the opportunity to at least TA some of these classes for the next couple of semesters, I think that's the way I would want to go. It's like being given a pastoralship instead of being an assistant pastor for a while. Sure, you can do it, but I want to learn more first. I want to set myself up for success. I don't want to go about it and do it the wrong way, whether it be pastoral ministry or a professor ministry. I want to do it the right way. So I asked him again. I went and I asked my provost, I know you know about the meeting, and this is what I said, and what do you suggest? And I asked her because I value her opinion. I kind of want to be like her when I grow up. So I asked her, I was like, what do you recommend? And she told me that me and another person who works with me, we're on similar paths. He's also a PhD student, but he's going for something with the Hispanic community. I think it's education in a Hispanic context. He hopes to eventually bring a whole program, a bilingual program or a Spanish program to our seminary, which is predominantly Hispanic down here. So I think that would be great. So he's working in a church, and hopefully I think he wants to teach as well. So we're on very similar paths. And she told me that that's something that they look at doing for the future. She wants to set us both up for success so that we can be the future leaders. And I'm with it. That's what I'm hoping to do. That's what I would love to see. So yeah, that's what's going on. I'm trying to set myself up for success in the classroom, trying to set myself up for success in the church, and I'm trying to set myself up for success in my PhD program. Now I got to pay a little more attention because like I said, I didn't find out that I should have those research topics until last minute, and I'm just grateful that God gave me inspiration right away, because I was actually the first one called on. I think it was in my Trinity class before Dr. Vadu started speaking. They were asking, okay, there was a professor, Dr. Yarnell said, we're going to go around and I want y'all to tell me y'all's research topics. No lie, I had just come up with mine. I saw what Dr. Vadu had written in his book, and I had an idea, but I didn't really formulate it. I didn't put it into a coherent thought. So he at the beginning of class said, we're all going to say it out loud. And then like 10 minutes later, he was like, okay, Jeremy, what are you thinking of doing? And in those 10 minutes, I'm like trying to organize it. What can I do? What research has been done? What is still lacking? Where could I do it? What are my interests with these two powers and all that? And I formulated it into the question of, oh my gosh, now I forgot it. Rabbi Akiva. Oh, no, I'm going to look for it because I like how I brought it up. Let me see. Might take a little bit. I didn't plan on doing this, so give me grace. But it was in my God the Trinity seminar, open, week 6. So I said this. So Rabbi Akiva and early Christian, was that one it? Yeah, Rabbi Akiva and early Christian logos theology. Contrast rabbinic instances on the strict unity with Christian development in relation to distinction. So again, how the rabbis' two powers polemics influenced the church fathers' rebuttal in the shaping of the Trinity. And I think it'll be good. Let me come back over here, open it up. So that's what I'm going to do. I have to get started. I have to start collecting sources. I have to start building my bibliography. Like I said, I'm grateful that our reading this week is only like 500 pages. I'll be able to knock that out fairly quick. And yeah, that's really it for now. Not too big, not too heavy, not too much of a week. And it should calm down. As I mentioned, I'm also preaching not this Sunday, but next. So I got to start building that sermon as well. There's a lot of things I got to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get to it. And I will keep you all updated with what is going on. Pray for me. It's lots of things. All right. With that, guys, I will see y'all next week. Shalom. Oh, be on the lookout for that Luther video. If it's good, I'll release it. If it's not good, I don't know. I might still release it. It's good information. All right. Shalom, y'all.